Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Building Raxus in LEGO. We are at week number 9. We are 4 weeks back, almost a full month of Raxus episodes every single weekend. If you guys are enjoying the series so far, make sure you drop a like down below and of course subscribe. Don't miss any videos. We are entering probably the most exciting time of the build series, so you're not gonna want to miss anything. Before we get started, I want to give a huge shout out to my channel members. Guys, if you sign up for the channel membership, you get early access to these Raxus episodes, but exclusive behind the scenes and Discord access at the Builders Club tier. So guys, definitely take a look at the memberships. There's a link down below in the description if you want to join and support the channel, or hit the join button if you're on desktop. Week number 9 of Building Raxus. Not gonna lie, this week is gonna be a little bit of a more short and sweet episode, but we still got tons of work done today. We finally finished the third ATTE walker, and we are going to be able to get a full image of what that courtyard looks like now that it is 100% complete. I want to give a huge thank you to our sponsor for today's episode, brickzz over on BrickLink. Guys, they are without a doubt the one-stop shop for any of your LEGO needs, minifigures, sets, and parts. They have helped a lot with the mock that we are building with all the parts that I need. Go check out their store over on BrickLink, one of the biggest stores in the US. Heather and the team over at brickzz are always amazing and super caring and get the orders out on time. Quick sidebar, this is actually why you should order from brickzz. I ordered pieces for my Imperial Walker, and we actually had to cut my time lapse short because I was missing 20 different pieces throughout the entire build, all of which are really unique, and this is what I get. brickzz, however, does not ever miss a piece. Anything in your order always arrives. When you guys go ahead and check out, make sure you put BrickWiz in your order comments. You'll get a free LEGO Star Wars giveaway, a little goodie for you. A huge thanks to brickzz. Now, I do want to give a huge thanks to everyone who contributed on this week's Raxus live streams. We have Kai Brix, Devin, Bobo Brix, and Fresh Brix. Thank you, fellas, for donating. Any and all donations we get go right back into the mock, so your support means a lot. So, week number 9. I'm not gonna lie, it feels really good to be back here consistently week after week. It feels good. It feels rewarding, and today we are gonna be, again, talking about that third Imperial ATTE Walker. Now, again, today's episode is gonna be a little bit on the shorter end, but later this week, I'm actually gonna be making a full review of the Imperial ATTE Walker. I know a lot of you guys have been asking for it, so instead of showing it in a Raxus episode, we're actually going to be taking a full look into the walker in a full in-depth review coming up later this week. But I'm not going to delay anymore. Let's go ahead and get started. We'll take a look at the walker, and then of course we'll get a nice little overhead shot of that courtyard that is now finally done. Let's jump into week 9, Building Raxus in LEGO. Hey guys, voiceover Matt here. Now, unfortunately, this week's time lapse is not nearly as long or as awesome. In fact, when I was building the ATTE, we actually ran into missing parts every other second, so the time lapse wouldn't have been that great to see. For that reason, there's only a little bit, so I did end up cutting it, but enjoy the rest of this time lapse, and we'll get into the build and the rest of the update as soon as the time lapse is over. Enjoy. So after completing that third ATTE, we finally have the completed courtyard here for us to take a look at, and oh my gosh, does this look freaking amazing. Now, this doesn't look ultimately that different from the weeks prior. Obviously, we have that third ATTE now, which is super important, but we have a completed courtyard scene with all 3 walkers, and that is something I have actually been waiting for a super long time to finally see. Now, a quick thing, I actually had extra time this week, so what I did was I had previous walkers that we've had before, and what I did was actually take the legs off and sort of rebuild the legs, and you can see here they're actually standing quite tall without the support that we needed before. If you guys remember last week, I actually had these guys underneath it because they just kept like slouching in the middle, which I guess is something over time the joints get worn and stuff. But I went ahead and redid the legs. I reconnected them with the joints inside the walkers, and all of them are now standing at a very comfortable height by themselves, which is really important, especially that one. This was actually the first one that I ever made. It was the one in worse condition, and I redid the legs, and now it's standing really high. So that's just a little quick side note. I kind of went in and fixed all the ATTE legs so they all look really, really good. But now we finally have that scene I've been talking about with the 3 walkers. I even went ahead and put some little clone troopers going around throughout the mock just to simulate the idea. And you guys can imagine here, we're going to have that big crowd of people around here, you know, the balcony right over here. And it's just going to be such a cool scene to see. So I'm so excited to see what that looks like. But having all of 3 walkers right here just sort of tells you how purely huge this mock is turning out to be, and I'll give you guys a couple of different angles. Again, I love the contrast of the colors. It's something that I've been talking about for quite a while here, but the contrasting colors for Raxus is super nice, where you have the bright light orange, the green, the dark brown for the trees, or reddish brown, excuse me, and then the tan, you have the medium nougat, the white, and then the 3 walkers. Like, it's just coming together so well, better than I could have ever thought. And then this is something that I envisioned when we first started the mock. You know, this first scene from the trailer, seeing the walkers come together, you know, towards that Parliament building, towards the crowd of people, was something I was looking forward to for so long. So having this is really, really cool. Again, not too much of an actual new progress for this week, if that makes sense. We spent about probably total 5 or 6 hours building the ATTE, some of which was on the live stream, a lot of which was also on my members call, and then some of which was just by myself getting a good start on it. So there's a lot of cool stuff to look forward to. I think this really gives us a nice stepping point to get on into the next part of the mock, which is going to be that big Parliament building, which is going to be taking up the majority of this empty space, probably from about here to about here, and then we'll have that back little side access road right over there, and we'll kind of play it by ear. But really, this is just coming together so well. 9 weeks of progress. I know we've been delaying the mock a little bit. Obviously, I think we started it in November, and now we're in March, but 9 weeks of build progress. I actually think this is a pretty considerable amount of progress for us today, and I'm very, very happy with where we're at in the series. But I don't want to really waste any more time. This is kind of all I had. Again, that 3rd walker right there, right in the middle, going down the aisle with all the statues surrounding it. I think this is just such a really cool image to finally have built in Lego, and finally seeing it in person is amazing. Again, I hope you guys can make it to Brick Fair, Virginia, which is where this is going to be on display. Everything we build will be at Brick Fair, Virginia. I hope you guys enjoyed. One last shot of all these walkers coming together, which is super fun. So let's go ahead and head to the outro of today's video. So a little bit of a shorter episode for today, but nonetheless, I hope you guys enjoyed. We are approaching week 10. Now, week 10 historically has been a pretty big milestone for build series here on the channel. I mean, it signifies 10 weeks of building progress, which is a lot. And now that we're this far into the mock, we're invested in it. We're really only going forward, and such a really exciting moment to be invested in the series for sure. So again, if you guys want to continue checking back with the progress, make sure you subscribe with the bell icon on. Don't miss any of the videos coming up. I hope that seeing the final courtyard was as cool as it was for me with also you guys. Like, the courtyard has just been something that I've been envisioning in my head ever since the trailer came out for Bad Batch, ever since I saw the episodes. That was the one vision, right? It's very important to the series, and again, it's that first vision when I saw this mock in my head and when I initially got going. And now that we finally have this done, it is so refreshing and so motivating to me to keep going on. And also, guys, I think it looks just super cool. Now, some of you may have noticed in the series, the 3rd walker that we built today that's in the middle is a little bit different. The front panels are dark bluish gray, and there's some different changes throughout. That's because I sort of decided to make this the sort of command and control ATTE, like the leader, like the lieutenant or the captain on the battlefield. So that's why it's a little different. I'm not sure if that makes sense canonically. In fact, it probably doesn't, but for me, it was just something really cool I wanted to add. So for those of you who noticed it is a little different, good on you for noticing small details, but that is my sort of thought process going on with that. And again, I do apologize for the time lapse not being complete. We were running into major issues finding my parts, so it really would have consisted of me getting up every single like 3 frames. So, you know, not a big deal. But I mean, guys, I'm gonna focus on the mock for a second here. It's coming together really, really well. And it's also huge. For those of you who don't understand the scale of the ATTEs or just the base plates and anything like that, it's super hard to get a sense of scale when we're watching these videos on YouTube. For instance, when I saw Jay Starkiller or David's Mandalore, like, I knew they were big and impressive, but when you see them in person, it was huge. And I don't think that the scale of Raxus as it is right now can be really properly captured. And the fact is, we're a little over halfway done, which is really, really cool and exciting. So before we head out, I do want to give a huge shout out again to my YouTube channel members, guys. The YouTube members go such a long way with helping and supporting me on the channel, and you guys, as perks, get a whole bunch of cool stuff. You get early access to Raxus episodes, early access to Raxus behind the scenes. In fact, members knew this was coming way before anyone else did. So make sure you guys definitely check out the memberships if you guys want to have a good time. With that being said, thank you for watching today's shorter episode of Building Raxus in LEGO week number 9. Next week, we will be back with week number 10, and we are gonna finally start building the main Parliament building. This is definitely the biggest behemoth of a task on this mock series, and I'm excited. I'm nervous to get into it, but I think it's going to come out really well. Thank you guys for coming back every single week and supporting here on the channel. The past 3 episodes have been getting consistent views, which is really incredible. It really warms my heart, and thank you guys, and I'll see you next week's episode. Until then, peace out.